Once upon a time, in the world of romance novels, women's desire was a whisper. It existed behind locked bedroom doors, inside restrained glances, hidden beneath the modest veil of what society called love. She might have longed, yearned, burned, but never openly, never without consequence. The romance heroine of the past often needed rescuing from her circumstances, her emotions, even from herself. Her desire, if acknowledged, had to be softened, cleansed by the promise of marriage, or silenced altogether by a man's dominance. But flip open a modern romance novel today and you'll find a different story. You'll find women who don't just want, they choose, they crave, they pursue, they say yes, and sometimes they say no, and that is power in itself. Modern romance has transformed into a space where women's desire is not shameful or secondary. It is central, it is human, it is gloriously complex. This change didn't happen overnight. It grew slowly, as more women began writing their own stories. No longer confined by the rules of male fantasy or publishing expectations that equated female sexuality with impropriety, women authors began to explore what it really means to want. And not just sexually, though that's certainly part of it, but emotionally, intellectually, even professionally. Desire in modern romance isn't a single spark, it's a constellation. Think about novels like The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, where the heroine Olive is the one to initiate a fake relationship, not for love, but to reclaim agency over her career and personal choices. Or Beach Read by Emily Henry, where January, a romance novelist, confronts her own disillusionment with love and dares to write truthfully about pleasure, loss, and longing. These characters don't wait for a man to unlock their passion. They're already awake to it. And yes, sex is part of this awakening. Today's romance novels are not shy. The closed door has swung open, and behind it we find not only heat but honesty. In books like *Neon Gods by Cathy Robert, sexual desire is depicted as something to be explored, not punished. Persephone doesn't fall into bed with Hades because he dominates her. She chooses him. She enters a world of pleasure with her eyes wide open, fully aware of what she wants and how she wants to be touched, held, seen. This emphasis on consent and agency marks one of the most powerful shifts in modern romantic storytelling. It's no longer about submission. It's about choice, about mutual discovery. The heroine's body isn't something to be conquered, it's something she owns. And in this ownership lies the kind of freedom that past generations of female characters were rarely allowed. But desire in modern romance isn't just about bodies. It's about minds, too. Women in these stories are allowed to be ambitious, angry, curious, confused. They're allowed to want more than just the man. Sometimes they want the career. Sometimes they want to heal their family. Sometimes they want to travel the world, finish a PhD, run a business, or just be left the hell alone for a moment. And here's the revolutionary thing: modern romance novels let them. Even the classic romantic tropes, once seen as reductive or even regressive, have evolved into something more nuanced. Take enemies to lovers, for instance. In older iterations, it often meant the man was rude and the woman eventually softened him with her love. Today, it's verbal foreplay. It's two equals challenging each other, each stubborn and smart in their own right. Think The Hatting Game * by Sally Thorne, where Lucy isn't just sparring with Josh, she's playing the game on her own terms. Then there's fake dating, another fan favorite. Used to be, this trope positioned the woman as a pawn in a man's scheme. Now, she's often the mastermind, the one who initiates, negotiates the rules, and enjoys bending them when the time is right. And what about the grumpy sunshine dynamic? It used to highlight the emotionally shut-down man softened by the gentle, loving woman. Now, the sunshine heroine isn't just bubbly, she's complex, often hiding her own emotional scars behind that warmth. The contrast becomes a mutual unmasking. What we're seeing again and again is the celebration of layered, multifaceted desire. Women don't want just one thing. They don't want to be just one thing. And the best modern romance novels allow them to be contradictory, imperfect, powerful, and tender all at once. Romance is often dismissed, mocked even for being too fluffy, too emotional, too focused on happy endings. But in truth, it is one of the most subversive genres out there. In a world that still struggles to take female pleasure seriously, these books say, Not only does her desire matter, it's worth building an entire story around. And the readers know this. Go to Book Talk, Bookstagram, or any online reader community and you'll find women passionately recommending their favorite steamy reads. They talk about spice levels with the precision of sommeliers. They compare notes on consent, chemistry, and character growth. They're not ashamed. They're empowered. For many, reading romance has become a form of self-discovery, an invitation to reflect on what they want to. There's also a beautiful diversity growing in these novels. We're seeing more stories featuring queer characters, older women, disabled heroines, women of color, neurodivergent women, all with desires that are just as valid, just as central. These are not token roles. These are protagonists. Their longing is not a side plot. It is the plot. Consider Helen Hoang's The Kiss Quotient Asterisk, where the heroine, Stella, is on the autism spectrum and hires a male escort to help her learn about intimacy. What begins as a business arrangement evolves into something deeply emotional and vulnerable. Stella's journey isn't just about sex. It's about learning to express what she wants on her own terms without shame. Or take Get a Life, Chloe Brown Asterisk by Talia Hibbert. Chloe is chronically ill, funny, bold, and fully in charge of her romantic story. Her desires are never erased or minimized. They are explored, embraced, and honored. This is the future of romance, a genre where women's desire is loud, layered, and limitless, where a woman can be sexually assertive and emotionally complicated, where she can take the lead, fall apart, ask for more, or change her mind, where her needs aren't just met, they're celebrated. And in a society that still often tells women to quiet down, to settle, to play small, these books are a roar. They say, you are allowed to want. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to take up space in your own fantasy. So the next time someone rolls their eyes at a romance novel or laughs at the idea of spicy books, ask them this. What's more powerful than a woman who knows what she wants and dares to go after it? Because in modern romance, happily ever after starts with desire. In this time, it belongs to her.